This is Dakota News Now, your first alert station.
And at 5:30, good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Allen.
Thanks for being with us. I'm Sam Wright. As Sioux Falls continues to expand, the population facing homeless growth with it as well.
Yeah, today a local nonprofit and homeless shelters met to discuss what they're doing to fight this issue. Hannah Eckwall in studio to tell us more about their efforts here at 5:30. Hannah.
Brian and Sam, it's only been a week since the city of Sioux Falls and multiple nonprofits worked to raise awareness for Hunger and Homelessness Week. Today, I got to hear how some local homeless shelters are working together to combat the growing issue ahead of the holiday season.
Homeless populations move around. They move where it's warm. They move where they can get food. They move where they can get resources.
This is the case for many who face homelessness in the Sioux Empire. President and CEO of the Sioux Empire United Way, Alan H. Tim II, says they stay because Sioux Falls is a place that cares. Tim explains how the United Way doesn't offer direct services, but they partnered with 75 different nonprofits in the area to help provide resources to combat homelessness.
We're investing in programs that help people have a better education, give them a better start in life, help families get the counseling services they need, to help with those programs so they don't get to that point. But when they get to that point, we better make sure we have those programs and services here to help with the homeless population. If not, it will only exponentially grow.
As the weather begins to get cooler and the holidays approach, local homeless shelters become aware of bigger issues the homeless population tends to face: struggles with mental health. Luckily, emergency shelters like Union Gospel Mission of Sioux Falls provides fun resources to help those struggling.
We have art classes and we have different things that are going on at the mission, and we have programs that actually help people through that.
Local leaders say that the best way to spread awareness on this topic and the local resources that are available is to simply start by creating the conversation. Brian and Sam.
Hannah Eckwall, thank you.